Hey guys, it's Schwasty. Welcome to the third video in a 5-part series where I will cover the ins and outs of all the classes in BattleBit Remastered. This time it's the Engineer class, so let's begin. Today I'll be giving you guys everything you need to know to be as efficient as possible with the Engineer class. I'll also throw in my personal opinions throughout, letting you know what loadouts I like to run with. The Engineer class is focused primarily on anti-vehicle warfare. Armed with your RPG and an array of other anti-vehicle and anti-infantry gadgets, your role will be focusing on taking out enemy armor and other defenses, while also keeping your own team's vehicles in the fight for longer. First up is the primary weapons. The Engineer class has access to the most diverse selection of weaponry in the game. We're talking assault rifles, marksman rifles, submachine guns, carbines, and personal defense weapons. The assault rifles will offer you the greatest balance in terms of engagements, surprisingly nimble up close, but can also be lethal at longer ranges with good accuracy. The SMGs, carbines, and PDWs will favour a more aggressive approach, being the weapon of choice for the CQB enthusiast. Marksman rifles will offer you some good accurate shots at medium to long range, useful if you require a bit of extra reach to deal with opponents on larger maps. There's really a lot to choose from here, but at the early ranks I recommend the M4A1, the MP7, and a little later on, the Groza at rank 55. Where possible, try equipping quick A magazines for a more in-your-face playstyle. Typically these loadouts I like to run with as the Engineer means that my movement and aim down sight speeds are a little on the slower side, as I prefer to carry as many rockets and utilities as I can handle. Your primary method of dispatching enemy armor and transports will be your RPG. There's a small selection of rocket types available, so let's take a look at them. Heat, or high explosive anti-tank, is typically the most common rocket you'll see on the battlefield, for reasons I'll explain in a moment. It offers good accuracy and moderate damage against enemy tanks, typically dealing anywhere between 20 damage for a shot to the front or sides, and 40 damage for a kick up the arse of an enemy tank. It's also surprisingly effective at engaging enemy infantry and at taking out walls and other obstacles in your way. If you're feeling extra brave, you can even land accurate shots on enemy helicopters, but be advised it can take multiple to bring down an enemy transport helicopter, due to the recent durability buff they've received. For the best results against enemy little birds, try aiming for the small area between the pilot's nose and their mouth. The Heat RPG comes in two formats, the Iron Sight version and the Scoped version. My personal pick is the Scoped version on all RPGs, as it comes with an inbuilt display useful for engaging targets at multiple distances. Combine this with the rangefinder attachment available on most primary weapons after a few unlocks, and you are prepped to engage far targets that would normally be difficult to hit. To maximise your XP gain, you can fire heat or tandem rockets at enemy vehicles that have been left abandoned. This can be an additional 1800 XP, although this will start a timer where the vehicle will return to its spawn location, so be aware that you'll be seeing that vehicle in enemy hands again soon. Moving on. The fragmentation rocket is supposed to be the most useful against enemy infantry, as it lacks damage against armoured vehicles. However, as of the time of recording this, I strongly advise using heat rockets instead. Some time ago the fragmentation rockets got heavily nerfed, to the point where they will only kill if the shot lands extremely close to the target. This may change in the future, but give them a wide berth for now. Like the heat variant, fragmentation is also available in Iron Sight and Scoped versions. A personal favourite of mine is the tandem rockets. These offer the greatest damage against enemy armour and can destroy an enemy tank in as few as 2 rockets. However, there are some trade-offs that you'll need to be aware of to utilise this beast efficiently. The biggest factor is the readings on your scope are actually for much shorter ranges than the scopes of the heat or fragmentation rockets. The tandem rockets have a far greater drop-off than the other two, and the scope maxes out at just 200 meters. So be advised, you will need to aim higher to compensate for the heavier rocket. It's also worth noting that you'll carry fewer tandem rockets than the other two, so factor this into your loadout. What armor you wear is an important factor in your loadout, as it dictates how much ammo and rockets you carry, how much protection you receive from incoming damage, and how quickly you can move around. Equipping a medium helmet will give your noggin a bit more protection from incoming fire, and can even save your life on occasion where otherwise a headshot may have dropped you. You can trade in your helmet for a faster aim down sight speed if you so choose. The Engineer class is quite unusual in its selections of chest armor. Not only do you have the usual light, normal and heavy armors, but you can also choose to equip no chest armor at all. This is similar to light armor, but you're trading off the little durability the light armor offers for a 20% buff in aim down sight speeds. My personal preference is to equip normal armor for a balance of protection, mobility and additional primary magazines. In a similar style, your backpack will also play a part on how much equipment you can carry. Ideally, if you're playing the engineer class, it's because you're in a game mode where both sides have access to armoured vehicles and transports. So I will always opt for the heavy backpack for the most amount of RPG rockets available to me. This will slow your movement a bit, so take this into consideration before fighting the enemy up close. Moving on to primary gadgets, I've covered some of these before, so if you'd like to skip, you can go to the timestamp on screen. First on the list is the advanced binoculars, useful for when you need to see a little bit further away, but not really worth it in my opinion. The anti-personnel mines are useful booby traps, killing any enemy unfortunate to step on one. Very low profile, they can be used as early warning detectors when the enemy is nearby. As an engineer, you'll also be given access to anti-vehicle mines. Place these on roads and in high traffic areas to passively murder an unsuspecting driver. They are easily spotted, so don't expect them to land you a bunch of kills unless your opponents are playing on a tiny screen. Best utilised when placed in groups of 2, use overgrown foliage on the roads to break up their silhouettes and give you a better chance of scoring that kill. C4 is most useful for engaging enemy vehicles, but can also be used to engage infantry or destroy brick walls or barricades in your way. You can carry C4 and your RPG to cause the most amount of vehicular chaos possible, so it's a good selection for this class. Be advised, it can take up to 4 C4 to take out an enemy tank. Claymores are similar to anti-personnel mines, but are more easily spotted due to their black tripwire cables. They do offer slightly greater damage against enemies that cross their wires. The repair tool can be useful to repair friendly vehicles in a pinch. This can be time consuming though, and it doesn't fully heal your vehicle, so its benefits are circumstantial. Depending on the map, it might be better suited to drive back to spawn to fully repair and rearm. You can equip your repair tool as either a primary or secondary gadget. My advice is do not choose secondary gadget, as this will replace your RPG. Suicide C4 offers the player a last chance at revenge when getting overrun by the enemy. Simply click to blow yourself up and take out any enemies within close proximity to you. Best utilised when used in CQB to engage multiple enemies. Despite blowing yourself to smithereens, you can still be revived afterwards by your team. Overall, the Engineer class gives the players the tools they need to become a one-man tank destroyer. While shooting sequential RPGs into an enemy armoured vehicle does leave you very exposed to return fire, it can be extremely rewarding. Landing a perfect shot right when it's needed most can turn the tide of battle in your favour. Remember to equip a rangefinder on your primary weapon if you're going to go tank sniping, and most importantly, have a blast. Anyway guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, I would appreciate if you could rate the video and consider subscribing to the channel so that you can see future class videos. If I've missed anything important, please let me know down in the comments below. Remember to watch your house, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.